Well, hi guys, this is Pat, and this is my first video. We're going to call it Around the House. All right, it's just going to be an informal video of just some projects and some things that we do around the house. I'll show you some of my collections. We'll do a couple of projects, and I'll try not to editorialize too much or be too political. But I'm showing you my garage right now, and here's some of my old telephones. This telephone here is from the 1940s. This is an original. Don't have it in working condition yet, but at some point we're going to restore it. And a cassette player, which actually works. This cassette player is probably from the early 80s, and still just have to hook it up to some speakers. Maybe I'll play it for you later. And there's a couple of old radios. All right, this one's from about 1952. This is a Stewart Warner 1952 model, and a Channel Master, which I need batteries for. We're gonna see if that one works later on. And we have a couple more items. This is an old Motorola up here, a Quasar TV set, some of my tin houses and cars. A lot of fun stuff. I like collecting these, and the only thing we run out of is room at times. And here's of course the 86 SL. Still have that in good original working condition. Show you a little bit later on of some of my old original metal signs, which we collected along the way. So I hope you like it. We're gonna have some fun, and I'll post these up periodically, and I hope I get some good feedback. Alright, here's the garden as it is. Some basil plants, which I just planted actually a week ago. This is 1 week. Of course, they were seedlings when I bought them, about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches high. Basil, good for Italian cooking and plants. My parents always had a bunch of basil plants growing. These are about ready to be picked a little bit. And of course, mint, spearmint, peppermint. And then I have 2 that I'm growing from the seeds. These are radishes, and we have radishes over here that will start to grow. And of course, then we have some beets, which we'll see how those grow. I think I planted the radishes wrong. I should have done them in little holes across. Instead, I did it in one row, but we'll see. Here's a project I'm going to be working on. This is a wooden bench that was on my mom's porch, and as you can see, it's redwood, and it's been outside over the winter. I'm going to paint this thing up and try to get some of that. There's a lot of rust here on these metal springs. We can see if we can put some naval jelly on that. We're gonna get some redwood paint out and paint this thing up and just get it in good condition. Of course, I have some old cushions that she had. Maybe we'll see if we need some new cushions on it, but that might be the first project that we're gonna work on. This old bench, we're gonna get it all cleaned up and looking really good again. Just adding a little bit of water to these plants. I watered them this morning before I went to work. Give them a little bit more. They've been in direct sunlight all afternoon. And the beets. And the radishes. Okay, here's that Channel Master transistor radio. This thing is from the early 60s. I won this on an auction, and was not working. This actually just runs on batteries, which I just picked up. So we're going to take off the back and see what we've got inside, and see if this thing we can get it to work. Okay, I've opened up the back. You can see the parts here. It has this tube. The batteries fit in, and they go against, hold up against here. But if you look at this one, this is really, so let's scrape this off and maybe rub it down with some rubbing alcohol and get all the corrosion off of here and get that cleaned up. I'll use my steel brush and start to clean this up and get this focused in. Here we go. I'll use my steel brush here, wipe this off, let's clean it up and install the batteries and see if this thing works. Okay, so I've cleaned off the electronic coil as best I could, and we're going to insert the batteries inside the tube and then attach this tube inside to make the connection here, turn it on to see if it works. I've never had it turned on, or had never had it working since I bought it. But before I do that though, this thing's a little dirty. We're gonna wipe down the entire radio and clean it up first, and then put in the batteries. So that's the next step. Okay, so we wiped it down, and as best we could, we cleaned it up. Now we're going to insert the batteries. I have 4 fresh batteries inside this tube. Let's put it in, attach, and on here. Okay, so the tube fits and is making the connection. And we have an antenna that's about 4 feet long. We'll just put this up here and get a little bit of reception. Okay, I hung it over the side here. And let's turn this on, see if we can get anything. Oh, it does work.
For complete details.
Install starts with game to mean the difference between winning and losing. It's the same thing when buying a new SUV or truck, because trucks at GMC dealers, the great offers they have.
Treating clients the way First Republic treats.
Volume's awful loud. I mean, this volume control.
First Republic.
She is working.
Saturday and Sunday editions and daily delivery when you pay up front. The only extras. Subscribe now and get a $25 gift card to your choice of over 50 national retailers. Call 1-844-NYY-POST or visit nypost.com/Yankees Radio. It's Yankees baseball on Sports Radio 66.
All right, I'll play with it a little bit more, but definitely works. This was an inexpensive radio when it was made, probably in the early 60s. It's a Channel Master 6-transistor radio. They don't make them like this anymore. It's a little bit of piece of history, and all I'm doing is preserving it. You know, it's not the most high-end piece of equipment, but it does work. So I'll reattach the back and put it back on the shelf and use it once in a while out in the garage. By the way, you can find anything online. Here's this Channel Master 6500. I don't know if you can see it. I'll zoom up, but they estimate 1963 that these things were made. So I was right. This radio is more than 50 years old, and it's a piece from the early 60s, and actually it's in excellent condition. So this thing is a piece of history from the past, and that we have in good condition, and we got it to work. So we're glad to see that. All right, we're gonna make a little barbecue this evening, and we're gonna have a little of the old shish kebabs, the chicken kebabs. We took some chicken, and we have on it some peppers, some onion, some slices of chicken, made them ourselves, skewered it, and a little marinade we're going to add on. It's the It's the Old Cape Cod. Stuff is really good. Marinade, lemon pepper marinade. Just add it on and cook it up for 50 minutes. It'll be perfect. Have a little tomatoes with some fresh basil, and that'll be it for dinner for this evening. Got the grill nice and hot, about 350 degrees. And we're going to add on the chicken and brush on the marinade. Do this for about the first 30 minutes. It'll cook, as I said, for 50 minutes. For the first 30 minutes, we'll keep turning it over every 10 minutes and just brush on the marinade. This stuff is really good. They have it down at King Cullen over here. I don't know if you can get it by you, but Old Cape Cod. Brush on as much as we can, and then let this cook for about 10 minutes, and then we'll turn them over. And there's our tomatoes sliced, delicious. This time of year, tomatoes are very good. What we're going to do to these is we're going to add some of the fresh basil that was picked up off the leaves, slice it up, a little salt, just some sea salt, and a little oil, and maybe some balsamic vinegar, and that'll be it. Between the chicken and the tomatoes, that'll make a good meal. So let's get that done. Alright, it's been cooking for about 10 minutes, so we're gonna turn it over here and get it. That's gonna be good. Let's reapply the marinade on it. And then we'll cook it again. Usually for the first 10 minutes, we cook it 10 minutes with the cover closed, and the last 10 minutes, each 10-minute cycle, 10 minutes with the cover open, the grill cover that is. And we're really getting it on. This is going to be delicious. You can hear them sizzling on the grill. And here's the tomatoes. Got a nice healthy portion of basil on it. Just a little bit of olive oil, some salt and pepper, and then we'll just put a little bit of balsamic vinegar before they're ready to serve. It's looking good. I am going to have a little bit of wine with dinner, and the selection is a Chilean wine. Usually like the California or the French wines better, but this is a Chilean wine. It was sent by my wine club, and it is quite good. It's Las Prisas. It's from Santiago Valley near Chile, and this is a Cabernet. And the food pairing, they say, is with lamb stew or steak. We're having it with chicken, but it is a good wine. This is a good Cabernet, and really excellent wine. So we're gonna have a little bit of that, even though it's a Tuesday, not a Friday, with a little bit of with dinner. We are just about ready. It is cooked perfectly, just a little brown on the edges. It smells great, and we'll get the tomato and basil, and we'll pretty much wrap up this. Gonna wrap up this first video pretty soon. Alright, we're done. Out on the sun porch, or the 3-season room actually, we've got our tomatoes with basil, a little bit balsamic vinegar on each one. Chicken smells delicious, a little glass of wine, and we're all set to go. Thanks for watching this video. A little bit of gun smoke on the television while we're eating. Thanks for watching this one, and next time we'll continue with the project with the restoration of the bench, the redwood bench, and I'll show you a pony that I bought. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Take care.